Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is NXT here at Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. Tonight is a huge night actually for NXT, and especially a huge night for the NXT Champion as he gets set for his first and potentially only title defense as the NXT Champion. But before all that, we have for you tonight a huge rematch from a few weeks ago. Stone Cold Steve Austin will face off against the former NXT Champion, the leader of the DCC in Chris Sabin. Over these last few weeks, Austin has managed to get himself involved in business regarding the DCC in the man of Corin. However, tonight, with there being no Corin for Steve Austin to face, Chris Sabin will step up to the plate in what will be a, for sure, hard-hitting matchup. But then we move on to our main event. Tensions are rising between these two over the last 2 weeks. Undertaker, the #1 contender, faces the Rainmaker, the NXT Champion, Kazuchika Okada, one-on-one tonight. Will Undertaker walk out with that NXT Championship, or will the Rainmaker continue to keep NXT as his own place? We'll find out tonight in what is going to be a very strong main event. But before all that, let's start things off with Austin and Sabin. Alright, well here we go. Immediately, Full Sail University jumps up into life at the sound of the glass shattering, at the arrival of the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. As I said, of course, following TakeOver, Austin and the new guy of the DCC, Corin, seem to have gone into a bit of a spat with one another. It all started really a few weeks back when Corin called out Stone Cold. Stone Cold responded, saying he can bring whatever he wants, he's going to kick his ass all over the ring. And then, after the little bit of war of words that both men had last week, we saw Corin strike first, after Stone Cold attempted to run in following Chris Sabin's match against Rich Swann and deliver the Stone Cold Stunner. Just before he could, that graphic came up, the DCC clock, and once it struck 12, Corin showed up and delivered the clock strikes 12 onto the man right there, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin wanted Corin. But before he can get his opportunity, Corin, Stone Cold's got to go through the former NXT Champion, the man who seems almost a shadow of his former self since what happened to TakeOver, Chris Sabin. You can see him heading towards the ring, usually used to soak in the confidence that he had, soak in the fact that he was the leader of the DCC, but it's not the same for Sabin. You could just tell in the way he walks to the ring, he doesn't possess that cocky mantra that he used to have. It is not the Sabin that we knew beforehand. But who knows, after this match, hopefully for Sabin's sake, he can get another opportunity at the NXT Champion. And I think if it's Sabin, he wants that man to be Okada, just so he can win that championship back from him. However, tonight he's got to face Austin. I got to think in some way this match has something to do with the NXT Championship. Should Sabin win here tonight, then maybe, just maybe, he's going to have to be considered for that NXT Championship shot. But should Austin win, the same may have to go to him. Last time these two men faced, Austin obliterated Chris Sabin in a few minutes, delivering Stone Cold Stunner and just ending it far sooner than was anticipated. Or it may have, no, I think or was it the time before? No, actually, I may have got that one wrong. I think the last time they actually faced each other was for the NXT Championship, in which Chris Sabin walked out victorious in that one. Austin right now getting off to a little bit of a flurry of a start, and the other match we've got for you here tonight, of course, 3 matches, because there's a pay-per-view coming up next week, tonight, at some point. There we go. Knew I'd get there eventually. But with there being the One Night Stand, there we go, pay-per-view coming up very soon. NXT has to restrict itself to 3 matches, and the next match we're going to see is Sexy Star versus the woman who actually jumped her last week, although in a almost unsuccessful manner. That would being Peyton Royce, who made her debut last week. Sexy Star defeated Nikki Cross, forcing Cross's first loss in singles action in this universe. And, well, you know, this match kind of has a lot of riding on it now, because Sexy Star needs to continue that momentum, keep that going for her. And on top of that, Peyton Royce, you know, to come out and attack the woman who just defeated the NXT Women's Champion, that is one thing. But to defeat her and show that you deserve to be in Sexy Star's position, that's a whole different ball game. So we'll be able to see if Peyton Royce can pull that off later tonight. And then, of course, our main event, the NXT Championship up for grabs. That's going to be an interesting affair between those two men, especially with what has happened over the last 2 weeks between them. Back and forth between Sabin and Austin right now to start things off. Certainly seeing the crisp fluidity that we've seen from Sabin in the past, that we've seen from Sabin since he captured the NXT Championship. Austin, though, ducks the Enziguri. Oh, the Stone Cold Stunner! Stunner by Austin! Into the cover on Sabin for a quick win. There's one. There's no... Okay, there's one. Sabin almost... Well, almost could have stood a chance there of being defeated. The Stone Cold Stunner certainly connected flush, but it wasn't enough to keep Sabin down for the 3 count. Stone Cold here continuing to go. Sabin, though, with a nice reversal. Puts him in the corner. What will we see from the former NXT champion? Oh, now starting to wrestle his style of match, trying to just torment Austin. Trying to just keep him in his grasp and not let Austin get free. That may frustrate Austin, but you don't piss off a rattlesnake. Because a rattlesnake has one hell of a bite on it, and that bite is in the way of the Stone Cold Stunner. Austin able to counter there with that clothesline, perhaps trying to respond back here to a few strikes. Clothesline down, and Austin is going up high. Not every day you see this, but Stone Cold Steve Austin gonna take flight here. On Chris Sabin, will this backfire? Austin from up high, elbow. Pinpoint elbow on the top of the head there by Stone Cold. Sabin looking slightly dazed, looking a little out of it. Austin now with another pointed elbow to the chest. And he waits patiently in position. Stone Cold about to deliver another one. Austin, Stone Cold Stunner. Sabin down for a second time and probably out. 1, 2, 3. No! Austin still cannot get the job done there. Sabin forces his shoulder up for a second time. How much fight back has he got left in him? He's got enough. He's got enough to hit the cradle shock out of nowhere for 1, 2. Wow. Nope, 1. Both men possessing a lot of fortitude. A lot of heart as well to continue going here. Double shoulder tackle there. And a spin out. Back suplex by Sabin. Austin may be staggered, maybe dazed following it. No, he's got enough in him to dodge that. Step up in Enziguri. Sabin just able to land that suplex, and Austin retreats to the outside for a second. Playing a little bit of mind games there with Sabin. Retreats outside, only to run right back into the ring. Clothesline there, decked Sabin. But it's Sabin who's the one back in control right now. No, it's not. Austin counters, flips over. Sunset flip by Austin. Will it get a 3 count? There's 1, 2, 3. It does the deadly sunset flip. Secures another win for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh no, he's here once more. He's here again. It's Corin. He's got the jump on Stone Cold Steve Austin again. How does he keep on doing this? How do the DCC enable themselves to be able to pull this off? Another jump of the gun by Corin. Another sneak attack on Austin following the match. Corin now. Clock strikes 12. Down falls Stone Cold for the 2nd week in a row. Alright, well, I'd like to see something sorted out in that whole Stone Cold Corin situation. I'd personally like to see it sooner rather than later, before things get too problematic between those two, and NXT ends up almost being teared to the ground, or torn to the ground, due to them two and their ongoing mind games and battles with one another. Stone Cold may pick up the win, but I don't think his intentions right now are the NXT Championship. I think his intentions are putting the ass kicking onto Corin. And Corin's intentions are to put down the rattlesnake once and for all. It is certainly an interesting affair between those two men, and we'll see how that develops as time goes on. But right now, it's Sexy Star against Peyton Royce. Star, of course, made her debut in this universe last week, knocked off the NXT Women's Champion, making herself the #1 contender. However, here comes her opponent for tonight, Peyton Royce, who made one hell of a debut, showing up out of thin air and attacking Sexy Star. May have backfired on her, but she seemed to get the last laugh in it all when Sexy Star went for that suicide spear or whatever it was. But Peyton Royce moved out of the way, and Star went head first into the barricade, forcing Peyton Royce's attack to come to an end. However, with her being unsuccessful in getting the whole of the jump on Sexy Star, will she be able tonight to get a 1-2-3 over her and perhaps make herself the new #1 contender? It's possible. Anything could happen here. We've certainly seen some shocks take place in NXT over the time it's been around. I mean, just look at our first NXT champion when this place was revamped. But nevertheless, I'm interested. I am very interested to see who's going to get the win out of these two right now. I think Star has the momentum and the leverage, really, given her fact that she won last week. But Peyton Royce kind of has that fire within her, It's her debut in this universe. She wants to prove herself right. Of course, I don't remember her being in the Queen of the Ring tournament either, so it's a real opportunity for Royce to prove that she should have been in that tournament. Perhaps over the likes of Sexy Star and Nikki Cross. Forearm shot in the face there by Sexy Star as we get things underway. A little bit of back and forth. Nice high kick there by Royce. But she's sent to the outside there right away by Sexy Star. Almost continuing where last week ended. Sexy Star into the barricade, not once but twice. Those ribs have to be in agony right now, taking 3 trips into the steel barricade there. And now back in the ring, Peyton Royce looks to try and take an early advantage here. Royce. Oh, got the arm. Perhaps looking for something. No, it's Sexy Star actually takes the initiative. Had long enough to counter it. And is able to get a nice arm drag there. Used her speed and her quickness quite a lot. But it's Peyton Royce who sends her back down. And she's feeling a little bit confident right now about how things are going. Spinning Sexy Star around. What can we see here? Oh, it's like the Edge-O-Matic, I think. Too many Edges things. We haven't seen him in a while, just thinking about it. From behind now. Sexy Star. Pump handle backbreaker onto Peyton Royce. What a harsh landing that is. Sexy Star, though, misses from up top. That could be Peyton Royce's initiative to take control. Oh, leaping side kick into the head. Star may be in trouble here. There's 1, there's 2, but no. Sexy Star kicks out of 2, and the hope for an easy and early win for Peyton Royce is denied. Nice DDT, though. Leapt up and caught Star perfectly with that one. Of course, going to work on the head. Using the advantage that was set up for her last week following that missed spear on the outside. But Sexy Star responding in her own way. Chop right across the chest there. And now attempting to get the crowd back on her side. If Star wins, I think she will be undoubtedly the #1 contender for Nikki Cross's Women's Championship. However, if Peyton Royce wins, we may be seeing a potential triple threat down the line. Oh, that kick almost sent her out of the ring then. Peyton Royce leaving nothing on the table. Putting it all on the line right there, especially with that kick. That caught Sexy Star flush in the head, but she's able to fight back from it right away. Belly to belly by Star. The precursor, perhaps, to the move that got her the pinfall victory last week over Nikki Cross. Can we see it again here? Catches her in. That pump handle. Fall away slam. Something along those lines. Sexy Star plants Royce. She pinned Cross with it last week. Can she pin Royce with it this week? There's 2, and there isn't a 3 count. Royce breaking the duck already and getting her shoulder up in time. Royce slips herself out of that move, and now nasty jawbreaker there. Once more going to work on the head. What will Royce look for now? Does she have something in mind? She's kind of parading around the... Oh! Parading around Sexy Star just caught her right in the gut there with that kick. There's the, oh, speaking of kicks, there's the leaping side kick in the head. Peyton Royce seems to have something in my fisherman suplex from the looks of things. Royce hits the fisherman suplex, hoping for the 3 count here. No! Sexy Star kicks at it too. And now, some kind of powerbomb. Has her up on his shoulders. Oh God, oh! What a neck breaker. Had her up in that powerbomb position and the neck colliding into the shoulder there. Peyton Royce may have put Sexy Star down for good. Royce turns her over. Cover here for 1, 2, 3. What a win. What a win for Peyton Royce. Well, maybe it is going to be a triple threat down the line. Peyton Royce victorious here over Sexy Star. And oh no, she's not done yet. She is not done yet. Perhaps wanting this attack to work far better than the one last week did. Peyton Royce jumping Sexy Star once more. However, this one's looking like a much better success. Leaping side kick by Royce. And it will lead into the move that just won her this matchup. Up on his shoulder and into the neck breaker. Everyone on NXT here tonight attempting to just attack one another and one-up one another. Well, there's Peyton Royce getting another shot at it. This time it succeeds. And it begs the question, when will we see Royce and Star potentially fight for the NXT Women's Championship? That's going to be an interesting one. Nikki Cross now going to have to keep her wits about her and keep that title clutched close to her in the weeks to come before she has to defend that championship in what I would presume to be a triple threat match. We'll see what JBL and Larry Zbyszko have in mind for that, but for now, it's time for your main event. The NXT Championship up for grabs. The Undertaker faces the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Alright, here we go. The tension brewing between these men over the last few weeks has been reaching a boiling point. It's been waiting to ignite. And here, in the main event of this NXT, we finally get to see that boiling point happen. We finally get to see what happens when the lid flies off and these two men go at it. The Undertaker, over the last 2 weeks, succeeding in getting the jump on Okada twice, laying him down at the end of the show. 2 weeks ago, if memory serves me correct, it was the choke slam that finished off Okada. This past week, it was the last ride that laid out Okada. Undertaker saving that tombstone pile driver, it seems, for tonight. Saving that final crushing blow to Okada for tonight. Undertaker won the right to this championship by winning the 10-man Battle Royal at NXT TakeOver. On the night, of course, that Undertaker became the #1 contender, Okada became the champion. Both men have their reasons for wanting to hold on to that title, for wanting to win it. Undertaker, of course, as I've said time and time again, perhaps the best example of a career revitalization. If he doesn't win here tonight, I honestly think NXT will have an incredibly hard time of keeping their hands on him. I honestly think the offers coming in from brands, from the other 3 brands, a little bit of a spoiler, but the offers coming in, I think maybe just be too much to let Undertaker stay on NXT. However, here tonight, if he's able to do what so many others haven't been able to do since he came down to NXT, and that is beat the Rainmaker, then it may be time for the Undertaker to truly become the Lord of Darkness. His creatures of the night may spur him on to victories and title defenses throughout the rest of that championship reign, for however long he can stay dominant on NXT. But to do that, he's got to go through the Rainmaker. He's got to defeat Kazuchika Okada, a man who has not taken his foot off the gas pedal since arriving here. He has fought time and time again, as hard as he can and as tough as he could possibly achieve to become NXT champion. Sent down as a failed member of the 4 Horsemen, Okada came here to prove everyone wrong, to prove that he is a man of the people, to prove that he has what it takes to make it as a star. And he has done just that. He dethroned Chris Sabin in the DCC at NXT TakeOver, and now, tonight, he looks to do the same against The Undertaker. With threats from all sides. With threats from The Undertaker. With threats from the DCC. Potentially even a threat from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okada looks in the face of adversity and continues to fight. That is why he is your NXT champion. That is why I have gained the incredible respect for this man. Not only, having to accept that you got sent down to NXT when actually your record was pretty good on the main roster, that would be enough to break a man. But Okada has seen it as almost a reason to continue fighting here. A reason to keep going on NXT, and a reason to become that man right there. The man who is the NXT champion. And for that reason, and that reason alone, I think Okada is going to retain tonight. I said he was going to win a TakeOver. I believe. I might be wrong. But I'm saying it here tonight. Undertaker has proven that he is once again a dominant man. He is once again the dead man, the phenom. But he is not going to be NXT champion. If you ask me, this is going to be Undertaker's last swan song on NXT. Okada is going to get the win. And I think we're going to see Undertaker go up to one of those rosters. While Okada continues to put NXT on the map. While Okada continues to prove why he deserves to hold that title right there. Nevertheless, it's your main event. It's for the NXT Championship. The tension in this arena. It's not really an arena. There's tension in this building. Is at its peak. Who is walking out with that NXT Championship? Is it The Undertaker? Is it Okada? We'll find out. Both men geared up and ready to go for this one. Okada got to be thinking about the attacks over the last 2 weeks and how he wants to prove to The Undertaker that those attacks have only fired up Okada. How they have gone the wrong way for Undertaker. Because it's brought out the worst in Okada. Brought out that inner being of him. That, everyone possesses that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know exactly the right choice of words, but they all possess that thing deep down inside of them that just forces them to just snap. They all have their breaking point, and I think maybe over these last 2 weeks, Okada may have reached his with these attacks from The Undertaker. However, if he's looking to prove it, he hasn't got off to the best of starts, because Undertaker right now has the NXT champion firmly held down on the ground. Okada fights back, dropkick in the chest there. This is going to be a match that is going to take a few finishes to finish off just one of these men. This is not going to be one of your short matches. This is not going to be a Chris Sabin-esque match when he used to be NXT champion. Undertaker there, stomp into the chest of Okada. And already the slit to the throat. Perhaps trying to send a message as a precursor to what we could see later on in this matchup, but Okada having none of it. Tilt-a-whirl neck break on the outside and once more putting the boots into the dead man. But he gets sent into the barricade as a response, and Undertaker now sends him face first. As I said last week, the NXT banners that are over that barricade prove they don't assist you. They don't soften the blow. You are just colliding into steel right there, and even on the mats, they don't add that much to them. Undertaker then sent head first into that steel pole. All sorts of outside interference in a way being brought into the equation to keep this match going. For Okada to stand a chance there fighting back. These simple strikes knocking down the Undertaker right now. Okada getting off to a strong start. Has him up on his shoulders here. Fireman's carry cutter there by Okada. Going to work on that head, which he needs to do. He needs to continue just basically clamp down on the head. Damage that neck, damage that jaw, whatever he can. So when he nails that Rainmaker, it'll put the Undertaker to rest. What is Undertaker looking for? Yeah, he's actually going to go for the first cover of the matchup. Undertaker looking for an early cover. Gets a 1 count. I assume that's a tactical thought in the mind of the Undertaker to try and wear down Okada. To try and exert more energy out of him, so that when we get to the later stages of the match, Undertaker's still able to keep on going, but Okada is almost at a bit of a struggle, but he fights right back with another fireman's carry, cutter to the dead man. Okada now turns around the Undertaker. We saw him use this move against Bram 2 weeks ago to get a tap out win. This kind of camel clutch STF on the Undertaker, but this time Taker is going to get out of it. Taker continues to fight on here. And Okada looked like he had something in mind in the corner. Uh-oh, he's going to pay for it though. Choke slam to Okada. The NXT champion could be down and out. The choke slam, almost the turning point of the match. Or maybe not. Okada, they're fighting back against the Undertaker and going up high, going to the top rope right now. Could this backfire on him? Taker's quite close. Taker is very close to where Okada is. He leaps and he hits the drop kick. Very nicely done by Okada. He floors the dead man and he looks to go again. This time nailing a spectacular elbow drop. Okada here. Gets the punch. Spins him round. Okada. Rainmaker. Will that retain the title for him? Cover on the Undertaker. 1, 2. No! The dead man kicks out at 2. There was the example of it taking more than one finisher to end this matchup. The Rainmaker caught Undertaker flush, but it was not enough to end this one. Undertaker now turning it into his favor. Tombstone pile driver to the Rainmaker, but are his feet in the ropes? Referee says yes. Undertaker should have had better ring awareness then. This match may have been over. But he keeps Okada pinned on the ground right now. He keeps him down, not letting him up on his feet, not letting him explode with offense. Exactly what Undertaker needs to do. He's getting confident now, and that may backfire. So, oh, well, certainly showed right there. Got a little bit confident. Got a little bit full of himself, and Okada kicked him right in the jaw. But still, Undertaker able to stop Okada. Okada moves out of the way, though. And now, back suplex by Okada. And enough left in him to kip up right after it. If Undertaker wants to be confident, so can Okada. Nice single underhook DDT there. And Okada looking for the pinfall after it, hoping it's enough to retain the title. Only gets a 2 count, though. And now look at how it's changed. It's Okada now the one knocking the Undertaker down. It's Okada now the one who has Taker right where he wants him. What will Okada look to do next? He has him up on his shoulders here. Oh, Undertaker gets out of it. Elevated DDT. And the NXT champion's down in the middle of the ring. Wrenching on the neck now is the dead man. Just softening up that head once more so that when he goes for one of his... Uh-oh. Never mind. Scrap that. Undertaker. Chokeslam once more to Okada. Into the cover for the NXT title. Not even a 1 count. Wow. Okada just forced that shoulder up as early as he possibly could. And now Undertaker, though, has him right where he wants him for a second tombstone. This one, though, nowhere near the ropes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to apologize for that. The feed just cut out while we were waiting there. Just before that tombstone pile driver, Okada kicked out at 2, but the match is still alive. Just about. Okada really doesn't have that much left in him. He's fighting back right now, but the Undertaker should have had it with that tombstone, to be fair. Somehow, some way, Okada kicked out at 2. And this matchup continues on. Deeply frustrated that had to happen when it did, but I suppose, you know, these things happen. But thankfully the match is still going. Oh, what a big boot there by the dead man. Okada rolls out of the way, gets the punch, spins him around, but he doesn't have enough in him. He doesn't have it in him to hit the Rainmaker. He just couldn't get it. Striking back and forth now with these two men. Elbow to the back of the head, knee in the gut. Just turned into a strike fest now. Okada, all of a sudden, Rainmaker! A second Rainmaker to the dead man. And the 1, 2, no! Undertaker kicks out again. It begs the question, how much more does Okada have to do to beat the Undertaker? Taker, who's given him basically his all during this matchup, is going to look for the last ride here. He has Okada up on his shoulders, but Okada fights out. Okada fights out of it. And spins him round once more. A third Rainmaker to the Undertaker. Is this all she wrote? 1, 2. It is. Okada is still NXT champion. It took him a long, hard fight to hold on to that, but he has done just enough to keep it. Undertaker gave it everything he had, but it just wasn't enough. Okada retains. He remains your NXT champion. Oh no, not again. How? How does he keep on showing up? It's Corin again. This time, mounting an attack on the NXT champion, planting down the man who just defended his title against the Undertaker. How can he do this? He's got too much to play with Austin, and now he's getting himself involved with the NXT champion. Clock strikes 12. Okada down once more.